I had a session with Nick about a month ago, and I actually really wanted to take some time to make this testimonial because sometimes we go through things or we have an experience and right away we see amazing results, but do they last? Right? So I was like, well, let me take some time to actually film this testimonial because I really want to see, do I have some lasting effects from my call with Nick? And let me tell you something. I am absolutely blown away by how much of an expert this man is at what he does. So when we went on the call, I had 3 huge limiting beliefs. The first one being I am not enough. The second one being that there's something wrong with me. And the third one being that I'm different and I don't belong. And after one call, just one call, he uprooted these oak tree limiting beliefs from me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. So what I started to do is I told a bunch of my friends immediately, and he started doing the same thing for them. And I will say one thing. This only will work to the degree on how honest you are with yourself and how willing you are to actually make a change. If you're going in this with so-so, or you're going into this with well, I don't know, then you're not gonna get the most out of it. So make sure you actually take the time to identify what are some limiting beliefs that I am sick and tired of holding in my life, that I'm sick and tired of having. What do I really want to uproot? And that is where things get really exciting and really awesome. And I can say with full certainty, after that last month, just like the mindset shift of not feeling enough, of there's something wrong with me, or I don't belong, it's like those do not exist. Of course, there are times where I feel not so great compared to others. I think that's part of the human condition. But at the same time, I don't necessarily attach it to who I am internally and my worth as a human. I am able to identify oh, these are just emotions that I experience right now in this moment. That has nothing to do with my worth and how good I am. This has nothing to do with something being wrong with me. I accept that I'm a human being and that I'm imperfect. And it's well, I'm able to relax and really be who I am and not really trying to fit in and try to make myself belong into places where maybe I just don't energetically vibe with that. But not only that, but just the different way that I think now when I find myself telling myself specific stories about situations that I'm in, and the questions I have Nick in my head, just like the questions that he asked, I'm like, oh, here's a good mindset shift, a good reframe. Really fantastic. I cannot rave about Nick and his work enough. I have been making introductions through the last month, and I've been telling everybody about him. As a matter of fact, we went down to a networking event. He was at that event. And instead of me being selfish and looking about my own connections, how can I make connections, I made a serious effort to whoever Nick was talking to go up and tell them how much this man has changed my life. I cannot recommend Nick enough. Again, you only get in what you're willing to put out. So make sure that you're willing to be honest with yourself. You're actually open and ready to change. And if you have those 2 things in place, man, you will see some amazing transformations.